Good evening. Welcome to Red Frequency TV, where the signal is weak, but the stories are real. Tonight, we're bringing you another story that will make you question what you would do if you found yourself in the wrong place at the wrong time. Before we begin, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Red Frequency TV, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. We're on the road to our next subscriber goal, and every single one of you helps us get there. So turn the lights down, turn the volume up, and whatever you do, don't watch alone. I left my job interview around 10:30 that night. The drive home was supposed to take a little under 2 hours, and I was already exhausted. I just wanted to get home, eat something, and forget about the interview. Then my car started shaking. The engine sputtered. I looked at the gas gauge. Empty. No way. I tried starting the car again. Nothing. I grabbed my phone. 1 bar. I tried calling for roadside assistance, but the call wouldn't go through. So I locked my car and started walking. There wasn't a single streetlight on that road. Just trees, fields, and darkness. After about 20 minutes, I saw something through the trees, a farmhouse. At first, I thought it was abandoned. The grass was completely overgrown. The fence was rusted. Several windows were broken. The porch looked like it could collapse underneath me. But then I noticed something. There was a light on inside. I walked up the porch and knocked. Knock, knock. Nothing. Hello? Silence. I knocked again. Still nothing. Then I noticed the front door wasn't locked. It was already slightly open. I should have walked away. Instead, I pushed it open. The smell hit me immediately. Something rotten. I covered my nose and stepped inside. Hello? My car broke down. I just need to use your phone. Nothing. I pulled out my phone and turned on the flashlight. Old furniture, dusty photographs, broken dishes. Then my flashlight hit the floor. I froze. There were dark stains everywhere. I crouched down and touched one. Blood. I immediately stood up. I was about to leave when I heard something upstairs. Thump. I froze. Another sound. Thump. Something heavy was moving across the floor above me. I slowly turned toward the staircase. That's when I heard it. A scream. It was the most horrifying sound I'd ever heard. It wasn't a word. It sounded like an animal screaming in pain. I dropped my phone. The flashlight spun across the floor, and for half a second, the light revealed something hanging from the ceiling, a human body. My heart stopped. Then I heard footsteps above me. Thud, thud, thud. Someone was coming down the stairs. I backed toward the front door. Then I heard metal dragging across the wooden steps. Scrap. The footsteps stopped. I couldn't see him. Then another scream exploded through the house. I ran for the door, but before I could reach it, bang! Something slammed into the front door from the other side. I stumbled backward, and that's when I realized something. I wasn't trapped in an abandoned farmhouse. I had walked into the home of the Hacksaw killer. He found me. I ran. I didn't even think about my phone. I didn't think about my car. I just ran toward the back of the farmhouse, looking for another way out. I grabbed the first door I saw and pulled it open. A kitchen, empty. I sprinted through it and found another door, locked. I started pulling on the handle. Nothing. Then I heard it. Thud. I froze. The sound came from the hallway behind me. Another step. Thud. I slowly turned around. He was standing at the end of the hallway. The Hacksaw killer. He was enormous. His clothes were covered in dried blood. and both hands were wrapped tightly around a heavy hacksaw. He didn't say a word. He just stared at me. I couldn't move. Then he screamed. Trying to get away. He charged. Fast. Way too fast. I slammed my shoulder against the locked door again. Nothing. He was getting closer. I grabbed a chair and threw it at him. He knocked it away without slowing down. I finally kicked the door. It flew open. I stumbled outside and sprinted into the woods. Branches ripped at my clothes. I could hear him behind me, running. Getting closer. Then his scream echoed through the trees. I looked back. He was coming straight toward me with the hacksaw raised above his head. I ran harder. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stop. Then I saw something ahead. An old barn. I ran inside and slammed the door behind me. I held my breath. Nothing. For a few seconds. I couldn't hear anything. I slowly looked around. Old farm equipment. Broken wooden crates. Chains hanging from the ceiling. Then my flashlight caught something in the corner. A pile of shoes. Dozens of them. Men's shoes. Women's shoes. Children's shoes. My stomach turned. Then I noticed the wall behind them. Names were carved into the wood, one after another. Some had dates beside them. Some were crossed out. I stepped closer. The newest name had yesterday's date beside it. Then I heard something outside the barn. Scroll. The hacksaw dragging across the ground. I backed away from the door. Another sound. Scrape. He was walking around the barn. I looked for somewhere to hide. Then I saw a trapdoor underneath some hay. I pulled it open. A dark staircase disappeared beneath the barn. I didn't want to go down there, but I could hear him outside. The barn door suddenly shook. Bang! I climbed down and pulled the trapdoor shut above me. I stood in complete darkness. Then I heard footsteps above me. He had entered the barn. I covered my mouth. His footsteps slowly moved across the floor. Then they stopped directly above me. Silence. I looked down. There was something beneath my shoes. Something wet. I pointed my flashlight toward the floor and realized I wasn't standing in an empty basement. I was standing inside the Hacksaw Killer's slaughter room. I couldn't breathe. The room smelled like something had been rotting down there for years. Then I heard the trapdoor open above me. Footsteps came down the stairs. I turned off my flashlight and pressed myself against the wall. The footsteps stopped. Then came the scream. The Hacksaw Killer stepped into the room. I could see the massive hacksaw in his hand. He walked toward the center. I covered my mouth. Then I noticed a small door behind the table. I waited. The killer turned away. I ran. His head snapped toward me. He screamed. I slammed through the door and sprinted down the hallway. I could hear him behind me, and he was fast. Way too fast. His footsteps were getting closer. I reached a staircase and ran up. I burst through a door and found myself back inside the farmhouse. I ran toward the front entrance. Then something hit me from behind. I crashed onto the floor. The Hacksaw Killer stood over me. He raised the hacksaw. I rolled away just as the blade slammed into the floor where my head had been. I kicked him. He barely moved. He grabbed my jacket and threw me across the room. I hit the wall. My vision went blurry. He walked toward me, dragging the hacksaw behind him. Scrawl, scrawl. I saw my phone near the doorway and dove for it. I called 911. The call connected. I whispered my location. Then the killer screamed. The dispatcher heard it. I threw the phone down and ran. I burst outside and sprinted toward my car. Then I remembered the tank was empty. I heard another scream behind me. He was standing on the porch. He raised the hacksaw. I ran down the road anyway. Minutes later, headlights appeared. A truck. I ran into the road and waved my arms. The truck slammed on its brakes. The driver jumped out. He looked toward the farmhouse. The hacksaw killer was standing in the doorway. The driver froze. The killer screamed. We jumped into the truck. The driver hit the gas. We sped away. I looked through the back window. He didn't chase us. He just stood there, watching. 3 days later, detectives took me back to the property. The farmhouse was empty. No electricity, no footprints. They told me the house had been abandoned for 11 years. Then one detective opened the basement door. We walked downstairs. The walls were covered with names. Hundreds of them. Some were decades old. Then I saw something that froze me. At the bottom of the wall was my name, and beside it was today's date. I turned around. The detective was gone. The basement door was shut. Then I heard it. That scream. I grabbed the door handle. It wouldn't open. Something was dragging metal across the floor behind me. Scrub, scrub. I slowly turned around. The hacksaw killer was standing at the bottom of the stairs, and this time, there was nowhere left to run. That's where we're going to leave it tonight. If you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe to Red Frequency TV, and tell us in the comments, would you have gone inside that house? Because sometimes the scariest thing isn't what's waiting for you. It's the decision you make before you realize you're already trapped. We'll be back with another story soon. Until then, keep the lights on, watch your surroundings, and whatever you do, don't watch alone. Good night.